Hi angels and welcome back to my channel. So it has been a while and as you can see Milo has joined us today. It's been a while since I've done a video. I've had a lot going on at the moment and obviously we are all in isolation, so that has taken some getting used to. But I have actually got a lot of my motivation back from my social media and things like that, which I'm happy about. I'm just running with that and just trying as much as I can to stay up to date. I found a lot of new fashion pieces I'm obsessed with, which you'll see on my Instagram. So first thing I'd like to say is I hope you are all safe and well during this very difficult time. It is really hard, but I suppose it's not forever, and as long as we do this now, then we can go out, we can see our friends and family when this all blows over. So today's video, as you can tell from the title, is my mental health journey. I spoke briefly about doing this in a previous videos and I keep saying I'm going to do it, but I never do. So today I actually am going to do this for you. It's quite a long one, you'll have to bear with me a little bit. I hope I don't get upset, fingers crossed I don't. But yeah, I'll dive straight into it. So as I've mentioned in previous videos, I was initially diagnosed with anxiety and depression when I was around the age of 13. So my nan passed away, and it's the first family member really close to me that I had lost, and I really struggled with that. It's just hard losing a family member, especially when you haven't really experienced that loss before. And I was also diagnosed at the same time with disorderly eating. So I didn't have a eating disorder. I was very thin, I just didn't eat the right foods. So my mum would cook me a meal, but while she was cooking I'd sit there and snack on sweets and chocolate and things, so I weren't getting what I needed. And because I'd snacked, I then didn't eat my full meal. So I'd eat, but I'd eat the wrong things at the wrong time, so my body still weren't getting what it needed to gain weight. So when I left school, I was roughly around the weight of 6.5 to 7 stone. Now, for someone that is 5'9", that is very slim. I'll insert a photo here. I, at the time, was comfortable with my body. I was happy. I enjoyed being a skinny girl, but I didn't try to be really skinny, if that makes sense. I just didn't eat right, and I suppose that's something that I learned as I grew older, what my body needed, and I just grew up and matured and could see what I was doing basically. So I went for counselling when I was first diagnosed. I went through CAMS, I believe that's their name, I can't remember. But as I reached the age of 16, I then needed to transfer from the child's care to adult, and that's when I decided that I didn't want to pursue with counselling anymore, so I stopped that. At the age of 16, I then got into a relationship. I've always was the type of person that when I was younger, I always wanted to be in a relationship, always thought that that's what I should do. So I got into a relationship at the age of 16, and I was in that relationship for 3 years. As we both grew up and matured, that relationship grew toxic, very toxic. It wasn't, sorry, I can't get it out. I wasn't physically abused in any way. I was just mentally abused for around, I'd say 12 months, but I was very naive to the experience and couldn't see that it was going on. Like, my friends and family would tell me what was happening, but I didn't believe them, I didn't want to see it. So I continued to stay in that relationship. It got to the point where I wasn't allowed to socialise with my friends. I was told that I had to stay in the house while he would go on nights out, come back at silly o'clock, and I would then have to deal with him being drunk. I was never allowed to go out. Sorry, this is really hard to share. I was locked in rooms, wasn't allowed to leave, but again, I thought I was still so in love that I did stay in that relationship. I probably should add that we were living together at this time, so if my mum knew this was going on in her house, she would not have had it. I just want to put that in there. At the age of 19, I found out that I was pregnant. To me, I've always wanted to be a mum. It's one of my ultimate goals. Besides having a good career, things like that, I've always aspired to be a really good mum and have a family. Yes, I was young, but I was very much adamant that I wanted to continue with this pregnancy and have my child. He told me that he was really happy that we were finally going to have a family together, and I thought, great, things are going to finally change, but they didn't. I then found out that he had cheated on me, and I was then at the point where I can't stay in this relationship anymore. I just thought, I need to get out for the sake of me and my child. And I was like, I would never stop him from seeing that child, but I had to physically get out of that relationship for both me and the baby to stay healthy. Unfortunately, a couple of weeks after I left that relationship, I miscarried. And that is something I would never ever wish on another woman. It's one of the hardest things you ever have to go through. Sorry, I've just had to compose myself a little bit. So any woman that has gone through that experience knows that there isn't a day goes by where you don't think about your child that you sadly lost, your little angel in heaven. So I have my scan photos in my bedside table. I carried them, they're there all the time. I would never ever get rid of those. So I then had the weight of that on my shoulders. I'd just come out of that relationship as well, and I just kept saying, I was crying for help. I kept saying, I want to be with my baby, I want to be with my grandmother. I was just like, it's the best place for me. I don't know how to cope, I don't know how to grow stronger, I just didn't know how to move forward. But I did, as I'm here now. So got my shit together, got my life sorted, got myself a new job, and then started to go to university. Now, everyone knows within the university lifestyle, there's a lot of going out, socialising, getting drunk, and I loved it, absolutely loved it. I had a variety of friendship groups. I was very sociable, always have been really, just when I was told I couldn't. Sorry, I'm fidgeting, I'm a little bit nervous. I was always a very sociable person growing up, so it was odd for me to be told that I couldn't. Anyway, one night I was living with my friend at this time. I decided that I wanted to take a few of my friends back to continue the party because the bar we were in was closing. So we all went back and we continued drinking, and we were all in a very drunken state. One of my friends came to me and said that he didn't want to go home, so I said, you're more than welcome to stay here. So he did, he stayed at my house. But unfortunately he broke that trust barrier with me. I was not in a position to make a decision for myself and give consent. And this person that I thought was my friend took advantage of that, and he sexually assaulted me. At the time I was very scared. I didn't know what to do, I didn't know how to handle the situation. So it was morning by this time, so I said to him, I think it's best that you should go, which he did. I then went into my friend's room and continued to say to her, I don't know what's happened, something's happened. I was in a state of disbelief, really. I couldn't say it, I didn't want it to be true. And she said, Alice, you're still really drunk, go to bed, sleep it off, you'll be fine. She obviously thought I was just being dramatic because I'd been drinking a lot, which is completely understandable. So I went off to bed, but I just couldn't sleep. At this point, I'd started to sober up a bit, and my thoughts were coming more true. And I decided that I couldn't deal with it. I didn't want to deal with the fact that I felt ruined, I felt disgusted. I thought no one would ever love me again. No one would ever want to be with me, no one would see me attractive. And at that time I thought the best thing for me to do was to leave. And by that I mean I continued to take an overdose, and I decided that I wanted to end my life. Sorry, I should probably add that this was in 2018 in February, so this was over 2 years ago now. So I was then rushed into hospital when my friend came in to check on me, and obviously I'd made comments to her, so she said she knew she had to tell someone. So they don't pump your stomach anymore, they just have to flush whatever it is out of your system. So I was really, really poorly. I was thrown up for around 12-18 hours, and the police came to see me and wanted to take a statement. But I wasn't in any physical position to give a statement or allow them to do any tests like take swabs or anything. So at that point they left me their number and said, we'll ring you in a couple of days, or if you want to contact us beforehand, please do, which I did. I made a statement, and decided that I wanted to go ahead with the investigation. This said person was arrested, but they let him out on bail. Not bail, sorry, they let him out under further investigation because it was his word against mine. So obviously with a case like this, they have to request your blood samples because the hospital have to take your bloods anyway, especially with an overdose. They have to check your liver function, things like that. So they requested my bloods from the lab, and they literally said, oh, it's a good job you've called today, and we were just about to dispose of them. They're right here next to me, I'll make sure you get them. They were never sent to the police, and my case was then dropped. I've always been under the impression that if the hospital had handed over my blood samples, that this would be very, very different outcome, and that I would potentially have got justice. I've had some very, very hard times since those, and I do reflect on this experience a lot, and it has impacted the way that I trust other people, especially men. I find it really, really difficult, especially around those that I don't know too well. It's something I've definitely worked on, and I'm a lot more confident, and I'm a lot stronger woman now. I know how to handle myself, and I can, and I'm confident as well. And I see in other people that not everyone is going to do that, not everyone is going to be like that. But again, as I've grew happier within myself, got a really good job, I've got some amazing friends, I have actually gained a lot of weight during that time. So it's been a steady process, but obviously it's taken me years, and I mean years. So as I said, when I left school in 2015, I was 6.5 to 7 stone, and now in 2020 I am over 10 stone. So I'm in a healthy category for my body weight, which I'm so pleased about. And when I look at myself in the mirror, I like what I see, I feel confident, I look like a woman, and that's all I've ever wanted, is to feel good within myself and within my own skin. And it's something I'd promote to everyone, like, just love yourself. No matter what anyone does to you, that's them, that's their issue. You are beautiful, no matter what anyone ever tells you. We're unique, we're stunning, and we've just got to remain strong, and we've got to remain empowered. Like, us girls, we just have to keep lifting each other up. My friends have been so amazing and given me so much confidence, and I will forever be grateful to them, especially with friends and Corey and everyone like that. I will always be grateful. And another thing I'd like to add is, I've mentioned it before in my other videos, if ever anyone does feel like they are having a really bad period, please do contact me. I will always be there for anyone, wherever you are. If you just want to chat whatever time of night, please do just contact me. No matter what it's about. If you just need a chat about any random crap, just message me. I'll always make time, because I'll always understand. So yeah, it's been a really hard video to film, but I'm actually really glad about it. I feel like I've lifted a weight off my shoulders a little bit, because I've been prolonging it for so long, but I feel like I'm in a point now where I wanted to, and I was ready to share my story. And I hope this video has been of use to other people as well, and other women out there, or even men that have been through similar. I hope this just give you a little push, just to show that you can get through it, and there is a way out of this horrible hole. And again, if you need help or reassurance with anything similar to this, please do reach out. I'd be more than happy to speak to you. So thank you again for tuning in. Please give me a like and a subscribe. I'll leave all of my socials down below as well. Take care, angels, and stay safe. Bye.